I know a lot of people in the plant community like to talk about how they want their home to look like a jungle, but that is really not my intention. So in today's video, I am showing you how things are going to be rearranged because I don't have a lot of light anymore. I was washing some nursery pots on Friday and I started consolidating some of my cuttings and moving pots around, so let's get to it. I picked up 2 of these little orchid pots because I figured honestly they were $2 each. I found this planter for $7.50 at Binette Fee, as well as the other 2 little mini orchid pots. And yeah, they got me with the stars. I really liked this. It's not a super heavy ceramic pot either, and there's no drainage. It's just a cache pot, a regular one, because I previously had this plant in a little tin and I'm kind of over these. They're not my favorite thing. I just had them on hand. I currently have my Syngonium in this Christmas mug. I used to have philodendron micans in this, but I have consolidated all my micans to one pot. You saw in my last update when I talked about my marble queen. She is doing spectacular. I put it in a nursery that fits perfectly at the lip of this planter. I did the same for my burgundy rubber, which I moved up here. It used to be on this plant stand, and I moved my Thanksgiving cactus elsewhere. I needed the serrated pot that this was in previously, so I put this in a plastic pot from Binette Fee. It was $6.50 for the 6-inch, and it's perfect because the ledge just hangs out right at the edge of the cache pot, and this cache pot has drainage, so if I want to put a takeout tray underneath, I'm set. It's good. I really like the way that it looks here. I wanted to take out the Christmas cactus from here because it was just really grabbing my eye all the time, and I don't know, I just felt like it looked imbalanced, so I just moved it for a change and put the mirror to be like, oh, decoration, woo. Not much has changed on this shelf. Normally I have the grow light on and then I have this guy just pushed in, like, take the light, dude. But I know it's not enough light for the Mammillaria spinosissima. Just a random stem that came from my broken philodendron Paraiso Verde. I figured whatever. Give it some grow light, see what happens. I separated it from the pup that it was with. As usual, I have my Shiveriana Ficus elastica. Little trick, sometimes when a pot is a little bit too deep, this isn't really a pot, but it's kind of, I don't even know what these are for. These are those random IKEA containers. I just put this in there. When I put the plant in, the little leaves aren't hitting the ledge. Much better. I switched out this pot for the little stars. I really love that. So cute. On this windowsill, I have my Cebu Blue now. I consolidated the cutting that I had of it. There's nothing in here. My Pubicalyx, I put it in the pot that I previously had my orchid in before. I needed to up pot the orchid, so I moved my Pilia peperomoides in this pot, even though this pot is kind of technically a little bit too big for it. This planter combination helps me manage those very lanky freaking leaves. Here's where the Thanksgiving cactus ended up. I put it on the corner of my desk. Ideally, I did not want any plants to be on this desk, but one on the corner is not so bad if it can capitalize on the light that it receives from the window. I know I'm supposed to pull it away from the light in order to get it to bloom, but it's not going to be blooming this season because I did a lot of pinching at the end of the summer. So it's actually growing in a lot of leaves, which is what I wanted. I pinched it to put propagations down in here beside the random stray oxalis that ended up in here, and I just haven't taken them out. Like, I don't really care. I think it's kind of pretty, so I just leave it in. There aren't any signs of buds coming in for sure. My segregated Kalanchoe. This is the probation windowsill that's all damaged, excuse me. Not only did I find aphids on here, I also wiped off a few mealybugs, so it's in timeout right now. Oh, I forgot, I still do have some propagations. These It's not much though. This is one that I accidentally ripped off of my string of hearts. There's a little bit of pothos that snuck into there, so oops. And then I have, I believe this to be Cuban oregano, if I'm not mistaken. I am trying to root up some of my Hoya croniana silver because it got all wrinkly, but you know, look, it's starting to work. Hold on a second. Let me zoom you in. You see that? Those are little roots coming in, so they got root rot, or dry rot is what it's called, I believe. The roots were all dry and dead, essentially. And then beside it, I have nothing. There's nothing in that little... Oh wait, I'm lying. These are a couple of Cortesii props. Well, it's just one actually. It's one butterfly prop. The reason why I only did one is I just wanted to test what would happen before cutting up more and ending up regretting it. And this is a cover that doesn't fit it, but it's just to keep some humidity. We've got philodendron Brazil props that are for the receptionist at my job. We traded. She gave me the Cuban oregano. I'm giving her some Brazilian. And then we have a couple of philodendron micans because I accidentally knocked them off and I figured, whatever. I love this little prop station, but it's kind of annoying that it has this stuff here. It was actually from Pure Essentiel, which is a essential oil kind of brand. They make massage oils, and I just kept it because it's a perfect prop station, but that little business is kind of annoying and I can't remove it. It's all metal. Oxalis is vibrant and massive per usual. And it's actually blooming again. It's always blooming, man. Here, can you see? Lots of little pretty pink flowers. Freaking gorgeous. This situation has not changed at all. I still have pothos on top of the fridge and on top of my kitchen pantry. Things have changed just a little bit in the bedroom. I mean, I still always have my snake plant here, the string of hearts here. I love keeping it here because it gets that beautiful sun stress. I am just completely enamored. It's actually blooming, so I'm so happy. I can't believe that this little thing is blooming for me. Can you see how cute those blooms are? So adorable. This is the philodendron Paraíso Verde, which I've kept here on the windowsill. And there was the little stump that came from there that I put on my shelf. I found these on the floor, so I took them. I think these are moonstone. I didn't mention this in my collection video because I've just had them for a few weeks and I'll see what happens. Croniana silver. These are the ones in spag. See, this is what I mean. They got all dehydrated, but now I have them in spag. I gotta check if I have to wet this again because it's getting a lot of sun here. Yeah, I definitely have to wet this again. I'm gonna have to be watching this quite often. I made it wet a day ago. Here's my burrito tail. It gets more sun at certain periods of the day. So the Crassio petiolata goes here. Beauty. I've got my philodendron pink princess, which is doing that thing that it does when it makes a new leaf that's stuck in the sleeve for now. That thing's gonna come out any day now, any day. Here I have my philodendron Brazil. Up here, another birthing is happening on my alocasia. Very cute. Love that for the alocasia. I wonder if it's going to drop one of these leaves though. I repotted my Hoya latifolia. This is making me so uneasy because the leaves are they're a bit soft. They're not as firm as they were before because the root system suffered a lot of damage, and truthfully it was already like that when I bought it, unfortunately. I think I need to take some insurance cuttings. You guys had recommended that I break up the root ball and add in the props that I made, which I did. This is another one that had a lot of dry, dead roots, and so it's having trouble absorbing as much water as it did before. The reason that I noticed was that one of the times that I watered it, it's simply just the soil stayed wet. And then when I opened it up, I realized, oh wait, those roots are dead. Even though it has new growth, which is so crazy. Like, look at that. It's still making lots of new growth because I guess it just has water reserves. The type of plant that it is, cactus does hold on to a lot of water, so. I repotted my orchid. Here it is. It looks huge, okay? Bear with me. I did it because it was just always flopping to the side and I wanted to stabilize it more. So I stuck a bunch more wood chips. There's some orchid bark and orchid quote unquote soil in there, but I mixed it with a lot of wood stuff. And surprise, surprise. To me, this looks like a bloom spike compared to the aerial roots that I see everywhere else, which is very promising. I'm very excited about this. I really hope it works out. So that's where it's living right now. I filled in the philodendron micans pot and put it on a slightly smaller trellis. It's the Dollarama one again, and I just looped it around more thickly. I moved the Cressio petiolata so that I could put the Hoya cortesii here. Hopefully it'll receive a bit more quality light here because it's a west-facing window. This is also where I have the Echeveria, and this is the Hoya retusa. I don't have the heating on right now, so I just let that fall down, but here we are. Mind you, it would probably be better if I could get it to climb up here. If I just put something, a suction cup hook or something to get it to hang up here, because then it could absorb so much more light. Up here, I keep the Croniana silver. Quite a few of them are dehydrated, the leaves anyways, and I will probably be getting rid of the ones that are dehydrated and maybe keeping the sticks and see if they develop roots. The roots are currently embedded in the sphagnum moss, and some of them are already rooted, but I just switched the container. So I'm gonna leave this slightly open. So I wanna make sure that it gets some air. I think we're gonna take this with us because I'm gonna have to take some cuttings of the latifolia. This is how dark it is at 10:15 in the morning. I have my exposure at like allowing the most amount of light possible into my camera sensor, but I do have the ISO down. But I just want you to see how dark it gets. Like, it actually seems like evening time. So I think I need to get some clip-ons for the shelf. These are the only plants up here that don't really get extra supplemental light, and they look like they need it. They might need it if every day is like this. Isn't it the most satisfying thing when you wipe down all your shelves and you consolidate your propagations properly? Last night I consolidated my Hoya latifolia. Is that what it's called? Yeah, latifolia, previously microphylla, whatever you want to call it, propagations, my Croniana super silver as well. I potted it up. It had been rooting up in moss for 4 or 5 weeks, but these are the ones that had roots, and then there were other ones that didn't. There's still a couple of wrinkly guys here, but the rest, these are just regular Hoya abs. Look at the new growth on my Waiedii. Isn't that nice? I love that. So cute. It is presently the end of November, and I filmed my collection video on the 15th. And then the beginning part of this video was filmed on the 17th. So I've been moving things around and trying to figure things out because the lighting has changed so much over the last couple of weeks. It has gotten darker and darker. So my Kraton is still here, of course, and the Alocasia. I still have the Retusa in this room, except now it is in this planter that I found at Winners for $16.99. These go for about $20 or $30 on Amazon, I believe. I had to clip it a certain way to shorten it so that it would fit on this clothing rack. I put the string of hearts here and the philodendron Paraiso Verde as well. There were a little bit of casualties with the Ripsalis. I just felt like I couldn't fill up this pot properly. I don't know if that's the best decision, but we'll see. Right now I have the Ripsalis somewhere where it's going to get more light, and the philodendron micans I think looks really good in a dark pot. This needs to be cleaned. It's not permanent. It's actually in a nursery in this. I'm just using this as like a hanging device. That new pink princess leaf unfurled and it's very pink and brown. Anyway, and wrinkly. They're always so wrinkly. I think it's because of lack of humidity. I don't know if I should actually keep it down here and put my humidifier on. I just found this cash pot at Simon's and I'm absolutely in love. It was $6.99, guys. What the hell? I'm addicted. Do you see how much that bloom spike is progressing? I'm so happy. I've already got 2 clips on it. I'm also stoked with how the pubic calyx splash is doing. It's giving me more new leaves, so that's always nice. I ended up getting rid of some of the pothos props that I had and put some in water. I just didn't like how some of the leaves were looking and I just changed my mind, as usual. Remember how I said I really needed more grow light? Well, I didn't have the patience to wait to order one. I'm using a grow light bulb. For now, this is what we're working with. I'm still doing a lot of shuffling here, but for now, I just need to supplement the light because it's getting ridiculous. It's not even that late and it's just pitch dark outside by 4:30. I'm not sure if I should go with another set of strip lights here. These are not doubled up, eh? They're actually just a single strip of lights. But this utility lamp is the ugliest thing in the world, so I don't want to use more like that. One thing that I found is really useful, I have these acrylic containers that are originally for dividing cosmetics. If you flip them upside down, they make good risers for plants on shelves. So if you previously had a makeup addiction, you know what to do with your old acrylics. I potted the Ripsalis directly in this clay pot. I feel like I need a 5-inch pot for this, but for now, oh my gosh, look at the little new growth. Oh, seriously, this guy is the gift that keeps giving. Oh, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I put a mirror here. Hopefully there's some kind of benefit. I adjusted the shelf levels. This shelf was previously 1 notch above, and this was the same size. This was a bit bigger. And I decided just to bring this shelf down a bit lower so that Mammillaria spinosissima and the cactus can get more exposure to it. It's winter time and this Mammillaria spinosissima needs a bed and needs some light, so I brought the light closer. Don't say what's on everyone's mind right now. Don't do it. I just put plants that have low light needs up there. This spot here is a bit of a catch-all. It's the corner of my desk and on top of a marble thing that I use for flat lays. I'm just nesting the ceramic pot inside of this basket style pot just to change the vibe. The light I put down there is purely to create this shadow in the evening. I just think it's cool. But like I said, I do not want my home to look like a jungle. I want it to look intentional. I want it to look like a bunch of things that make me smile. I don't want my plants to be something that stresses me out. I like to hide some of my plants behind these curtains so that I can be given some peace and not have to think about plant chores. Honestly, I have designated days for plant chores, or days that I like to look around to see who needs to be watered, and I just don't need to be staring at them all the time. At the same time, I want to be looking at the ones that make me happy. So I'm figuring out a way to rotate. Some plants change needs in the winter. You can neglect some, but others really need much more light. Oh my gosh, another thing I meant to mention to you is that I made an order for trellises, so I'm going to probably do a styling video with you guys at the same time as I do a haul. That's my idea. Let me know if you like that idea. If not, I don't know. I'll figure something else out. I don't know what I'm filming anymore. If you have any recommendations for a light, please let me know in the comments. I would super appreciate it. You know what my setup looks like, so any recommendations are absolutely welcome. And I invite you to watch the video that is on the screen right now, because that is the video that YouTube thinks you want to see from me. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.